Hello, friends. I hope you all are doing great. And today I want to discuss about a very prominent questions which keeps coming to me by many of my friends and colleagues and the connections on the LinkedIn and other social platform. They are curious about like what should be the pattern to study about the 5G, because they see a lot of things, lot of informations on the platform. It is sometimes talking in details about the concept of the 5G. They sometimes see about the spectrum. They sometimes see a lot of things talking about the openran, cran, vran, and then there is a new things that is coming up like private 5G. And even before we see a vast deployment of the 5G all over the world, people are talking about the 6G. So it's like moving from one point to the another point, and sometimes for the initial starter or people who have a limited informations on the 5G, it becomes difficult. So it's a very obvious question, right? So here is a suggestion from my side, like yes, information will be there. Try to keep an track of all those information. It's not bad to have the informations under your belt, but when you study you have to follow a particular format, particular pattern. And when I talk about the pattern, what I mean is like first you need to understand why you are trying to learn about this technology which you say as 5G or NR. uh, 4G was good enough, but why 5G has come up, and which are the important use cases that the people are talking about? Why so much fuss about the monetization, so much fuss about the business things? So I will try to research a bit about the complete aspects of the 5G before I try to get or prepare myself to have the deep understanding of the 5G. So take a bigger picture, prepare a bigger picture for yourself to get a concept like why we talk and why we should study about the 5G. After that, the second thing that you should do is like purchase a good 5G book, because that will be the best thing, because that will help you to stay in a proper queue in order to learn the thing. There are the lot of informations on the social platform, on the YouTube in a proper way, but still I believe a good book might help you in a better way. And then obviously if you don't understand anything, there are the social platforms, there are the people who can guide you, who can give the more informations. There are some of the training institute, there are the good YouTube channels who can help you. But first follow some book, and then try to follow some of the important chapters. First try to get the informations like after the use case you must try to understand the architectures of the 5G. And when we talk about the architectures, you must study about the NSA deployment, SA deployment, because there are the different kind of deployment in the 5G, and you must understand all these. And you must understand not only those deployment which are more prominent here, but you should know all the possibilities of the deployment of the 5G that can be done. And once you are done with the architectures and the deployment on the RAN side, you must also have the clear understanding on the core side. The service based architectures of the 5G is something a revolutionary state, and you must have the good understanding of each entity of the 5G core as well as 5G RAN. Once you are done with the use cases and the architectures, then move to the next topic where you try to understand about the 5G spectrum, 5G channels, and the bandwidth. Get the detailed informations like people are talking about the FR1, FR2, low band, mid band, high band, what actually these means. Try to get the different perspective of these explanations, and then try to find out like in which of the area, in which of the region or geographical areas, which bands are used more frequently. So once you are done with the use cases, architectures, spectrum, band, channels, then move to the deeper into the numerology, you into the information of the different frame structures, what kind of frame structure you have in the 5G, because these are something that you have already these patterns you have already studied in the 4G. So if you follow a same kind of pattern in the 5G as well, it will be easier for you to understand and correlate the differences between the 4G and 5G and move ahead with a better concept. So it's there. Once you are done with these concepts of channels, frame structure, numerology, because that is actually bringing up the more possibilities in the 5G. So you need to focus and try to understand these concepts in a better way. Once you are done with this, you can move with the layers, which are the different layer that has been introduced in the 5G, which was not earlier there. How the data flow will take place between these layers. And then you can study about the scheduling part. So these are the different steps that you need to write down, need to follow. So what I would suggest is, like, whatever points that I mentioned, please note it down and follow those from any of the good books, and that is going to help you for sure. Then some of the important term which is like everywhere, and you might have heard in the 4G generation as well, like you might have heard about the MIMO. So here you have the massive MIMO. You can study about the beamforming, be it the digital, analog, or the hybrid beamforming. You can study about the carrier aggregation, which you have all have some kind of understanding in the 4G. Then you could study about the network slicing, and network slicing is itself a big chapter which you will study later on, but at least try to get some kind of understanding there. Then you need to study about the edge computing, or MEC, mobile edge computing. So these are the some of the important topic apart from the initial concepts which I have mentioned just before. So once you are done with all these important informations, you have prepared yourself to gather any kind of informations on the 5G, because now you have prepared your base. Once your base is done, then you can open yourself for the open ran concept, because here it's not a you can say a different generation of technology. It's a you can say a development based on the for the deployment architecture, and a kind of technological development that is actually helping in realizing the network in a more opex point of view. It's more helpful, it is more open for MNOs, and this is going to help and bring the whole TCO, that is total cost of ownership, to a significant level. But this concept go into the open RAN and try to study the four important points. First, what are the network function? Why you are trying to study about the open RAN? What concept it brings up when we talk about the openness? What concept it brings up when you talk about the intelligence? So you need to understand that. Then you need to understand the how the architecture for the open RAN is will be deployed. What are the open interfaces? Once you are good here about the concept of open RAN architectures, there you will study about the RIC, RAN intelligent controller. So there is a near real time and non-real time. So these are the different aspects you will study in the open RAN. So once you have developed the concept about the open RAN, then you should open yourself further for the like understanding the private 5G, the FWA, telco cloud. So these are some of the patterns you need to follow, and I am telling you, if you follow one book and then on the requirement basis take the reference or take the help from some of the videos on the YouTube, or on the you can ask some of the people who are providing good information on the LinkedIn.